Hello! Welcome back to my Let's Play of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Doing an Azata playthrough. Last time we just sort of finished the tutorial slash opening dungeon, the shield maze. We were betrayed by Wendawag, who's one of the early companions that we meet. And now we are going... Thanks, Camellia. And now we are going to finally make our way up to the surface and see how things are since the demons started invading. Just do a quick heal up.
Hesitation is a waste of time. Always watch.
Let's go. Now I don't need any of the stuff. That's all cheap and heavy stuff that we do not need. Let's leave.
While the survivors wander the dungeons, the battle on the surface rages on. The warriors of Kenabris are trying to defend the Wardstone, but their strength is flagging. Their resistance is valiant, yet it will all be in vain if no one rises up to turn the tide.
Indeed. The surface, finally. I miss the fresh air so much. I can hear the sounds of battle from above, out of the frying pan and into the fire. We've got Aniva and Horgus following us around as well. Oh! Already we're encumbered again. We'll drop that. Yeah, that's only worth 26. We'll drop that. Drop anything that... Yeah, we can drop all these daggers. Although it doesn't weigh that much. Can drop the heavy crossbows. Yeah, that helped. The downside in this game of picking everything up is... Well, it happens in most games where there's some sort of carry weight, isn't there? You feel compelled to take it all, but... you can't. The half-orc before you, wearing armor adorned with Iomede's golden swords, is clearly exhausted. She obviously hasn't gotten much sleep over the last few days. There's soot on her face and fresh blood on her sword. Her hazel eyes are hard and focused, and her firm voice sounds accustomed to giving orders. She sizes you up, surprised, judging whether you are friend or foe, and opens her mouth to ask you something, but freezes when she spots Inevia. Yay! Nice reunion. Although her arms are not gonna... She's so much bigger than her arms.
Nebby, I'd almost lost all hope.
Everything's fine, Beth. I'm here. I'm here. This here is a new friend. She rounded up those of us who survived the fall and led us up to the surface. Without her, we'd never have made it out.
Thank you, Inevia. Some recognition's nice. Inevia strokes Irabeth's head and whispers something in her ear, then stands back and points to you.
Let me introduce you to my wife, Irabeth Tirabade, head of the Eagle Watch.
Nice.
Until the army arrives, I'm the temporary warden of Kenabris. And you're just in time. As you can see, we're in the middle of a battle.
Yeah.
And thank you for getting Inevia out of there.
Where are we?
The Grey Garrison. Until recently, it served as barracks for the Crusaders. but it's now been taken over by cultists.
What's the target of this battle?
When the demons attacked the city, their main target was the Wardstone. I trust I don't have to explain to you what the Wardstone is and how important it is to the Crusaders. We must retake it at any cost, or the fall of Kenabris will be the beginning of the end of the Crusades, and with them, the rest of the world.
Sounds important. The Wardstones are a chain of powerful artifacts keeping the World Wound's expansion at bay. The first and greatest in the chain was erected in the city of Kenabris by the hand of the Inheritor himself, a golden-winged angel sent by the goddess Iomedae.
I see that you had a difficult journey to the surface. You need to rest. But there's a lot riding on this battle. I have no right to command you, but I'm asking you to help us.
I have important information about the location of a cultist den.
Very good. Report to me in full when we get back to the Defender's Heart. It's our temporary headquarters. Right now, the most dangerous cultists are here. The ones occupying the Grey Garrison.
We met some mongrels who live beneath Kenabris. This is Lan.
Most people in Kenabris think that the children of the First Crusaders are simply a legend. Other people say that the day you emerge on the surface heralds the start of the end of the world. I'm not superstitious, but the situation is apocalyptic, all right. Having a living legend on our side can't hurt.
Well, I'm sure Lan likes that.
Come on, living legend? A walking folktale, maybe? I just need to make sure I don't turn into a running joke.
Fair. What's the situation in the city?
The city's gone. Most of the defenders, including the Dragon Terendelev, fell in the first few hours. The civilians either fled or died in the chaos. The place is overrun with cultists and demons.
Don't talk like that. Kenabris hasn't fallen. Not while it still has defenders like you and me.
Sweet words don't change the grim truth.
No, she's right. Thank you, Knight. Until we no longer have the strength to hold a weapon, until Iomedae abandons us, we will fight for Kenabris.
Tell me about the Wardstone. Why is it so important?
The Wardstones are a gift of Iomedae. Created personally by her herald, a mighty angel, and a general of the Celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the World Wound from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Kenabris obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the abyss.
How did the Wardstone end up in the Grey Garrison?
The demons have long laid siege to Kenabris, but this time, their lord Dascari appeared in the flesh. He ripped the Wardstone from the ground and hurled it halfway across the city to here. I thought the stone was destroyed, but it seems all is not lost, yet. Dascari has gone, but the Wardstone is surrounded by a horde of those creatures. What are they going to do to it? Nothing good, that's for certain.
But how did he do that? He's a demon! The Wardstone should have burned his filthy hide!
It should have. But what happened, happened. We don't know why.
Let's not waste any more time. To battle.
That's the spirit. You, take a Navia to the rear. The rest of you with me.
I like that mumbling. You hear laboured breathing interspersed with disgruntled muttering. Horgus is holding his rapier hilt in a white-knuckled grip. A bead of sweat trickles down from his temple.
Lord Horgus Gwyrm, forgive me. I did not realize we had civilians among us. My people will escort you somewhere safe. To the extent that anywhere in Kenabris can be said to be safe right now.
See you guys.
That's right. Fighting spirit is the one thing that we've got plenty of. Actual fighting power, that's not so great. Fighting know-how, even worse. But fighting spirit, at least we're rich in that.
For Iomedae! For the Queen! Kill the beast!
Irabeth raises her blade, and the soldiers, inspired by her cry, rush into battle with renewed vigor. That's fine, just leave all that. Door won't budge.
Yet another obstacle.
You're playing with the auto end turn option enabled. This option allows the game to end the turn automatically when a character finishes their standard and move actions. Yeah, sure. Turn off. Oh, it does. Oh, okay. I didn't realise it gave you a bit of a rest when you were doing this. That's fair.
Cover me! Stab their backs. I'll loot your corpse.
I feel like when you got this many kind of allies fighting on your side, turn-based mode isn't exactly necessary. Take the masterwork stuff, and the scrolls, because why not?
I hope you appreciate this.
To the second floor. Hey, I know you. So you're one of these cultists? How's it going, pal? Want to join? Your lot will all be dead soon, but we'll be alive. I can't. Come on, leave these losers. The Crusades are over. Soon the demons will rule the whole world. He makes a compelling argument. He's like, does anyone... Here goes nothing. Oh, hell, Baphomet. Cowardly traitor. I swear on the sword of Iomedae you will answer for your betrayal.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
Let's put her in defensive fighting. I've already got arcane weapon enchantment activated currently.
Your death awaits. Cover me!
This pain is
Oh,
excruciating.
okay. Give Camellia a bit of a health buff, please.
So this is how
Oh,
it feels.
too late.
This is how it feels.
Did you see that?
That's why generally I always play in turn-based, because just stuff happens very quickly otherwise, all at the same time. And people die. All the scrolls. Yeah, it looks like that guy that betrayed them died immediately, so he made made the wrong choice, it seems. Let's heal up Camellia and Sealer. To battle, let's take Kenabris back. Use bless. Bless fills your allies with courage. Each ally gains a +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and saving throws against fear effects. So it's a light buff, but a good one. Yeah, that's fine. Leave. Teamwork feats can make your party very powerful. Don't overlook them. I tend to. Tend to forget about teamwork feats.
What's this? Do we have guests? Just in time. The place is a bit of a mess, and I haven't even poured the blood into the goblets yet. Why don't you... Oh!
The face of this demoness could be called pretty if it had eyes. Her mouth slowly widens into a smug grin.
What an unexpected surprise! Staunton, my little sweetheart. Long time no see. I've missed you so much. Have you missed me? Admit it. You missed me terribly.
The demon's mouth drops open in surprise, and she brings her manicured hand to cover it.
You again, you wench!
The aged dwarf from Irabeth's troop, silent up to now, spits on the floor. His hardened, craggy face, like storm-weathered stone, twists as if in pain.
Minago, the one who... Be careful. She's one of the deadliest creatures in the whole demon horde. She was once responsible for a massacre in Kenabris. She must be back to finish what she started.
Hey, demon woman, what's wrong with your face?
Oh, how rude. You're one to talk, mortal, with a face that even a mother would loathe. Staunton, sweetie. You're not going to let your friends speak to me like that, are you?
At least I have eyes. Not just unnerving skin.
That wench? She's the one who led me astray. She's the reason my life has gone to the abyss. She's the reason why Garrison fell.
So these two have a history.
Oh my, like butter wouldn't melt. What I remember is how eagerly you would run to our trysts, how you begged to see me again, how you promised you'd do anything I asked. By your own free will, you said this. And now you claim that Dresden fell because of me. No, no, my dear. That was entirely your own doing.
I'll beat your lying lips into your filthy throat!
Now, Staunton, don't say things like that. Not about these lips, the ones you kissed so sweetly. Staunton, dearest, don't you love me anymore? Remember how good we were together? I was so hoping that we could patch things up.
Definitely a history.
I'll kill you!
Save the last one for me.
Let's activate that. Let's have Sealer charge in.
Into the fray!
I actually think these guys are immune to electricity damage. So yeah, there's not much point using Shocking Grasp.
Stab their backs. This is my terrible mistake.
Nest is down. Activate spirit weapon enchantment, Camellia. Let's give Nest a heal. Ability check. I think we passed. That's pretty big for Discari to just completely hurl. As soon as you step into the chamber, your vision seems to darken and your knees buckle. You struggle to keep your balance. The air in here is laden with the power coming from the stone. Suddenly your head is filled with voices, screaming, whispering, cackling, threatening voices, pleading for help, shrieking curses and taunts. You blink and the illusion passes.
Congratulations. You made it all the way here. This is it. Your precious Wardstone. Well, what are you planning to do now, I could kill you where you stand, but wouldn't it be nice if you could die in battle like heroes? No. I want you to die in despair, scrabbling around like rats in the blighted ruins of your city, blind and broken, your flesh scabbed and seeping, and every moment knowing precisely what was done to you.
Sounds terrifying, except that's how we've been living for generations.
It's just another Tuesday for Lan.
There isn't a soul that can resist the temptations of the abyss. Even a stone can be turned. I'm not joking. Your precious Wardstone, weakened from the injury inflicted by Discari, has almost succumbed to my charms. Soon the whole barrier around the world wound, the gift of your useless goddess, will be a weapon of the abyss. Just a little more, and boom. Every city with one of these eyesores stuck in the middle of it, from Kenabris to Nerusian, will turn into smoking craters, and all the mortals into red sludge beneath our hooves.
Well, that's a bit extreme.
So you have a choice. Especially you, my pet. Kiss me on my dainty hoof. Pledge your loyalty to Baphomet. And when the world falls, its ruins shall be yours.
The demon blows Staunton a kiss and then holds out her leg, which ends in a cloven hoof instead of a foot. Who are you?
You've already forgotten me. Mortals have awfully short memories. Even shorter than your little lives. Staunton, sweetums. Don't you want to introduce me to your friends properly? No? Well, I'd better do it myself. I am Minago, Lily-2 and faithful servant of Baphomet, and leader of his armies. The city is mine now. I'm just starting to settle in, get things just how I like them. But once I'm finished, I promise you, the results will be simply to die for.
And it was such a charming little place until you sullied it with your presence. It had such lovely boulevards, quiet and shaded. You took those away from me, and I shan't forgive you for that.
Yeah, Camellia. Your priorities are right on.
They've done much worse things than spoil the promenades. All the people they've killed.
Yes, of course, you're right. I grieve for the common folk as well.
Convincing. Yeah. You feel righteous fury swell within you. How dare this demon besearch the ground of this beautiful world with her hooves, a world created by the gods and cultivated by mortals? And these cultists, how dare they betray all that is sacred in this world and join the forces of the foulest evil? Can they repent and redeem themselves? Or have they followed the path of evil past the point of no return? The Wardstone seems to sense your thoughts. The chamber grows slightly brighter. Good, requires Angel Mythic Park. Yeah. Your victory celebrations are a little premature, demon. Echoing the holy flame erupting from your hand, the light also gets brighter and brighter until it floods the chamber. You hear the voices again, stronger now. They repeat your words like a choir of angels.
Hey, no eyes! Didn't you tell us that heaven had turned its back on us and no one would come to our aid?
Don't listen to her. The Feed wants us to lose all hope. She won't succeed.
I'm done with this shit! I only followed this hoofed menace because I thought the Crusaders had it. And there was no other way to protect my family. But now I see that there is hope. I won't bow before these heinous idols ever again. If they kill me, at least I'll die a decent death.
The cultists glance at each other, hesitating. At last, the man who was first to speak up against Minago rips Baphomet's unholy symbol from his chest and casts it to the floor.
Yes! Return to our side, friends! Have courage! We will welcome you back. And heaven never abandoned you, no matter what this deceiver told you.
Turncoat, I'll cut out your heart.
A tattoo-covered cultist reaches for his weapon.
We'll see how tough you really are. We'll let you frighten us once, but it won't happen again.
An elf with a face deformed by acid burns throws her unholy symbol at him.
Time to rob them of their treasures.
We'll go turn-based for this. Oh, she fatigued us. That's not good.
You've crossed the wrong monk.
Let's focus on Minago. You've already got your spirit weapon enchantments, that's fine. We'll have you move here, Camellia, and then use Divine Zap. Little single point of damage. Ah, poor guy died pretty quickly. Yeah, she's immune to electricity as well. They all are.
I'll loot your corpse.
Well, she's proving tough to hit.
This was unexpected.
Oh god, Lan. Okay. Use Smite Evil.
The light, take you!
I'll cut you wide open.
Something tells me we're maybe not meant to be able to win this.
Your death awaits.
Go for the cultists. Seal it.
That's it. I'm tired of playing around now.
There you go.
You want to know what what will happen when I'm done with the Wardstone? Here's a little demonstration.
The demoness whispers a spell and a wave of darkness sweeps through the chamber. Your companions wince in pain, but it is nothing compared to what you feel. Thousands of voices once again burst into your mind, drowning you in their moans, screams and sobs. Pain rocks through your skull. Your evil spells won't stop a righteous army.
Iomade is with us!
Yes, yes. Keep telling yourself that.
The roar of voices blends into an unbearable wall of screaming. Your vision goes dark. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that fight is a meant to lose. I mean, maybe there is a way you can win it. I imagine the same thing will happen though either way. Like, if you get Minago down to 0 health, I'm sure that cutscene would just trigger anyway.
Praise Iomade, you woke up. Healing your wounds was easy, but you were unconscious for so long, I was starting to worry we'd lost you.
What happened?
We couldn't stand up to the demoness. Her spells were too strong. It's all right. We'll handle it somehow. You blacked out, but Staunton and I managed to get you here to the Defender's Heart. It used to be a tavern, but now it's our headquarters. We're gathering our forces here, and we're preparing to strike back.
Okay. I found a cultist dispatch in the dungeons. It seems they're holed up in the Tower of Estrad.
Demons have been filling Kenabris with their spies and infiltrators for a long time. Unfortunately, I don't have enough people to attack the place right now. At least not blindly. I'd be grateful if you snuck in there and scouted out the situation. But just scouting. Don't be a hero.
Can't promise that. What is the situation in the city?
But not hopeless. We're constantly getting news, and new sources of resistance keep springing up in the districts where everyone seemed to be dead. The survivors are gathering here. You should see them. Their faces, their eyes burning with determination. The city is destroyed, but our resistance is not broken. We will keep fighting.
What do you plan to do next?
You heard what the demon said. They're going to desecrate the Wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Kenabris, but every city with the Wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomade's gift must not become a weapon of the Abyss.
Tell me about the Wardstone. Why is it so important?
The Wardstones are a gift of Iomade. Created personally by her herald, a mighty angel, and a general of the Celestial armies. The Wardstones keep the World Wound from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Kenabris obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the Abyss.
Can I help you in any way?
First of all, we need to decide what to do with the stone once we get it. What I'm about to say is classified. A traveler came to the city recently. A blind elf calling himself the Storyteller. He insisted he be allowed to examine the Wardstone, and he raised the alarm when his study was finished. Even before the demon attack, he had found some damage or flaw in the stone. Prelate Hulrune dismissed his words as nonsense, borderline blasphemy. But between you and me, the prelate's opinion isn't worth much. I think the Storyteller knew what he was talking about. We could use his advice right now, if only we knew where he was. I remember the Storyteller spent a lot of time talking to Staunton, a dwarf from my unit. You saw him during the demon attack. The elf asked him about the history of the Crusades. Maybe the Storyteller told Staunton something about where we could find him if anything happened. There's another problem. After the attack, the demons began to gather their forces at the Grey Garrison. It'll be even harder to take them with a head-on assault. but I once heard soldiers talking about a secret entrance to the garrison. Trouble is, I have no idea where to look for it. While you explore the city, please keep your eyes open, in case you find something we can use.
The half-orc smiles at you encouragingly.
And one last thing. The Eagle Watch has lost a lot of soldiers recently. Some were killed, but others simply haven't been seen since the attack. In the chaos that is now Kenabris, it's next to impossible to confirm anything for sure. One of the missing fighters is Janna Aldori, a new recruit in the Watch. She got along well with Sela, and she often went drinking with her. I honestly thought Sela and Janna had died together. But now Sela's returned with you, and there's no sign of Janna. If you learn anything of her whereabouts when you're out in the city, please report back.
Okay. Everything is clear.
May the goddess help you. We're still fighting, which means that Kenabris still hasn't fallen. If you come across any groups in the city that can fight, send them here to the Defender's Heart. We'll need every fighter we can muster for the final assault.
Go to the Defender's
Yes, one more
Heart.
thing. If you're in the area, check out this address. It's our house. Mine and Anevia's. Well, it was our house. If the building is still standing, open the hidden compartment in the kitchen. It's filled with supplies for a rainy day. You can take whatever you find. You have more need of it.
Thank you. So the plan: gather survivors, bring them to the Defender's Heart, and wait for all this to blow over. So this is like our hub base for Act 1. Hey, wait, mind if I bend your ear about something? Aniva is outside your door, leaning casually against a shelf. So here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission, I get that, and I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defences here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? What? No. Your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy like, waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile. Got it? When do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here, but they could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand and that we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know, after they attack, some things could change beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs taking care of, you'd better do it soon. Everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So, the rift that damn beetle left with its scythe? Yeah, well, it cut the city into two, and it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in the market square. Not that any of them tried it to make sure. But if you've got a mind to go across, and I think you're going to have to eventually, you might want to give the square a once-over. Thank you for the warning. See you later. Later. Watch yourself out there. Right, before I go and, chat to people, I'm going to sell off some of this junk I'm hoarding. A strange figure towers over the bar, a huge, ungainly man with skin so milky white that his blue veins are visible even from a distance. His bald head is equal parts lumpy and pitted, and blood-filled eyes stare impassively out at you from beneath his pale brows. The glass in the albino's large, clumsy hand looks dangerously delicate, as if one twitch of those callous fingers would be enough to crush it. A gold medallion engraved with a tankard gleams around his neck. What'll it be? Law religion check passed. The medallion you're wearing, that's a sacred symbol, isn't it? Are you a cleric of Kylene? I'm a tavern keeper, best in the city, the best there's ever been, and I pray to the best god there is. Show me what you have. Firstly, bulk selling. I'll sort it in price, descending order. Let's just get rid of all the cheap stuff. And heavy stuff, more importantly. can give you just a little bump up in gold in the beginning. Especially, I mean, that's a fair bit of money, isn't it? 8 masterwork glaives. When stuff starts getting to masterwork, it becomes a bit more worth something. Actually, I'm going to keep that. Yeah, masterwork scimitar, masterwork scythe, masterwork shortsword, masterwork warhammer, cold iron, masterwork dueling sword. Okay, I'm going to hold on to those for now. Keep the ingredients. So yeah, a nice bump up of 3,300 gold. Oh yeah, I've got the cold iron stuff equipped, haven't I? And this glaive. Everyone's good for a level up. Let's just get some of the obligatory chatting out the way. Camellia. Camellia looks you over pensively, toying with the snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that she wants to say something else, but the pause grows too long and she slips back into cautious silence. Where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers, although they don't get all the credit. I am a most diligent student. Camellia licks her parched lips. Your amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice, but I assure you this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things? You're much more relaxed during combat. Your battle cries are uninhibited. She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes. So you've noticed. To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle as my ever-present companions. In the heat of combat, they become rather vocal. Your speech tells me you are of noble birth. Camellia laughs her practiced musical laugh as she watches you from under lowered lashes. You're most insightful, a fine quality to have. Camellia's laughter ends, and unspoken words hang in the silence. Can begin flirting right away if I wanted, or just immediately be a bit of a prick. There's always that kind of middle ground. Well, I suppose we all have our good and bad qualities, but I'm gonna go with still, I believe that being of noble birth does not give anyone the right to look down on others. Is that so? Well, thank you for sharing your opinion with me. Tell me about yourself. You want to know more about me than you already do? Why? Camellia arches a dainty eyebrow. I talk to the spirits of this tormented land, and they guide me in battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me in this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Anyway, as much as I enjoy our delightful conversations, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. Please excuse me. Camellia turns away, watching you out of the corner of her eye. Hello, Horgus. 1,000 gold coins for you, just as promised. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting me. Horgus Worm always keeps his word. Now speaking of our future cooperation. Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. What do you mean a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze, then lie down drunk in the gutter? Or do you think you're somehow different? A travelling knight, perhaps, noble of heart but without a coin to your name? Horgus sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrug. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves. So why should I care what you do with my money once you've got it? Failed a perception check. Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask that you refrain from such statements in the future. Horgus puts his hands on his hips. Oh really? How impudent. No one dares tell Horgus Gwyrm how to address the rabble. So what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Kenabris. I still have... Well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside, one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what's happened there since. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they've no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors, that's what they are. Also, please do take Camilla with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth, after all. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins, Horgus replies without hesitation. That's a pretty high diplomacy check, but why not try? Double the reward and I'll think about it. Failed. Ha! Yeah, right. For that kind of money I could hire Queen Galfrey herself to guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. Deal. Marvellous. Most excellent. Horgus' face relaxes, smoothing a few of the tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand. But do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward. Yeah, I don't think this tavern's really your scene, Horgus. Get out of here. Oh, and there's Staunton Vane. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lifeless windows make it clear that all inside are dead. I like that description. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the Grey Garrison. My name's Staunton Vane, if you've heard rumours about me. His face, which looks like it has never known anything as carefree as a smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me it's true. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the Storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The Storyteller, hmm? Staunton strokes his beard in thought. A strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort, he just listened. At first I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that if taking him in did ease my burden a little. I hope he's alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know of one place he might be. Look for him in the Blackwing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved that place. He would sit there day and night. So what do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Arilu Vorlesh. Let you read that about Arilu if you want. That I'm a disgrace even among the ranks of the condemned, that Queen Galfrey should never have spared me, that I belong on the gallows. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know? Staunton gives you a long, morose look, then sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusader forces are holed up in the fortresses on the edge of the Whirlwood, instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tired. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live, decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. The dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing, and I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. I hope you earn forgiveness. You keep living and fighting with no hope of anything better, because that's what the Queen ordered you to do. There is honour in that. I could just spit in his face. The kind of flat neutral one. You were given a chance to live, so live, and stop blaming others for what you've made of your life. Do you think you're the first to come to me with sermons? The dwarf shrugs indifferently. Our whole city fell because of you. How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else, like my little brother Yoren. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? If you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I were completely alone. Joran, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Commander Tirabade seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. I'm not surprised that she's the only one to hold on to her sense of reason in this farce. So many years in the condemned, surely you've paid your penance by now. That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. He falls silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice he adds, The condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priests, countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I'm still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? I have to go. Go on then. Maybe we'll see each other again. Well, he's got a bit of a depressing backstory. How you doing, Lan? Lan greets you with a nod. Here for a chat. I've been waiting for you to come and see what strange beast you've taken into your party. I'd like to know more about you. Let me guess. Your first question is, can you wear a hat with your one horn? Am I right? You speak common much better than the rest of your tribe. Funnily enough, common isn't all that common underground, Lan says. But your observation is correct. I used to live on the surface with my parents for a while, and had a chance to learn a couple things. The language, and the fact that every peasant who sees my scaly mug screams, "Demon!" and runs away. I don't know if you're interested, but my mum wasn't from an underground tribe. She was a smuggler, the kind that used the dungeons of Kenabris to secretly move and store goods. One time 2 gangs couldn't agree on how to share a prime cut, got into a fight, and the winners threw the losers down a hole, dead and living alike. My dad went to check if the corpses had anything useful on them, and he found a girl from the surface, barely clinging to life. An incredible feeling sparked between them. Or maybe the girl just liked men with scales and a cat nose. That might be it. One way or another, he got her back on her feet, and he later even left his home caves. She left her smuggling behind, and they began an honest life together. That's the delightful story of how Old Lan came into this world. The next chapter, however, My family and I never stayed in one place for long. We lived sometimes on the surface, sometimes underground. We couldn't find a place to call home. Living in the caves was hard on my mum, and my dad's appearance raised too many questions in Mendev. They're at war against the demons, after all. In the end, my parents decided to stop making each other miserable and separated. My father and I returned to our tribe. I think the peasants screaming demon had something to do with it, or maybe Dad just couldn't stand life without rat tail soup. I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Did you come with me so you could see the surface again? No, that wasn't it. I just don't have much patience for certain types of creatures. Demons, I mean. If they want to destroy Kenabris, I'll be on the side of the people they're attacking. Lan looks away. Lan, you're my companion, and companions should trust each other. I'm counting on you to give me honest answers, not excuses. Lan looks ashamed. I guess you're right. I shouldn't have been so evasive. It's just that some things are hard to talk about. My family, for example. My birth, hell take me, turned out to be a great misfortune for my parents. All because I'm relatively healthy. I'm the best thing that can come from a marriage between a cave-dwelling mongrel and anyone from the surface. A healthy child with the right number of hands and feet, no apparent defects, no missing organs or other problems. They saw hope in me, so risked having more children. They thought it would somehow be alright. A growl edges into Lan's voice. I could have had 4 brothers. The first was born 2 years after me and died 3 years later. He didn't have a nose. Nothing even remotely resembling one. He could only breathe through his mouth. Mum and Dad were afraid to take their eyes off him for fear he'd choke and suffocate on something. But in the end it was his weak heart that killed him. Then there was another pregnancy and birth. I pretended I was sleeping but snuck out of my bedroom and listened under the door. All those hours, it was very strange, but I never heard the newborn screaming. Mum moaning, yes, the priest praying. Then I dared to open the door a little and looked inside. The priest stood there very pale. One of them was holding something, a small object that fit in his palm. He asked, "Do you know what this is?" And the other said, "I think it's a head." Lan stops. Enough, you don't have to keep going if it hurts you. Hell no! I started to tell you and I'll make it to the end. You want to know why I followed you to the surface? Well, here's the reason. Lan pauses, exhales, and continues in a steadier voice. It turned out that this time Mum was expecting triplets. The first of the babies was born in pieces, and the 2 others didn't live long enough to draw their first breath. About 3 weeks later, my father took me to the caves. He didn't want to leave, I could see it in his face, but I think my mum and he decided it together. The curse my people have carried since the first crusade stood between them, not to mention the 4 dead babies. And old age was rapidly taking its toll on my father. After he returned to the caves, he only lived another 4 years. So if you're asking me why I decided to go up with you to the service and join the Crusades, well, the answer is I've always wanted to. I was afraid to leave my tribe, but it always haunted me that I would die in a world where 4 Crusades could do nothing to stop the beast from the abyss, and the number of victims kept growing. I want to change that, or at least try to. And if changing things is too much to ask, then at least get a little revenge. The ones who are behind the world wound owe me a great debt. The lives of 4 brothers and all my mother's tears, my father's broken heart. It's a lot. It's so much that killing a couple demons won't do it for me. I want to do something real, and I'm ready to pay any price. Call it my personal crusade, if you like. Lan gives you a slanted grin. I used to think that things would be better if I'd never been born. But now I think I was born for this, to settle the score. Would you like to find your mother? No. The word flies from Lan's mouth faster than an arrow. Then after a pause he continues. I don't want to meet her. Not because I feel any resentment. It's just that she's a half-elf. She's barely got her first grey hairs and I'll be a ramshackle old man. She's buried enough children. There's no need to make her witness the death of another one. I hope you understand. I am very sorry, truly. Lan smiles, this time sadly. Well then I'm very lucky. I met someone who not only helped me choose the right path, but is happy to listen to my whining. Why didn't you go up and join the Crusaders before? I couldn't just abandon my tribe. I'm their best hunter. They'll have it much harder without me, but now that the demons have nearly destroyed Kenabris and the caves almost collapsed on our heads, sitting and waiting it out just wasn't an option anymore. Anyway, I'm more useful up here than I am down there. Plus the chief let me go, which means my debt to the tribe has been paid. Your parents' love didn't survive hardship, but that doesn't mean the same thing will happen to you. What if you find true love, someone who won't leave you no matter what? And break my beloved's heart when I die in her arms 5 years later? That's a fine thing to do to the person you love. Then again, there's a chance I'll inspire some tragic bard to write a tearful ballad. Thanks for sharing, Lan. Thanks for listening. Mongrels have short lifespans, but you don't look like you're getting old or dying. How old are you? Lan chuckles. I'm as old as I look, no surprises there. Do you remember Sul? He's 10 years older than me. I remember him back when he was a fearless warrior, and day by day I watched him turn into an old man. Him and my father. It happens very quickly. First you miss a shot because you don't see the target as clearly as you used to. You think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself it will get better tomorrow. Then you notice you're having trouble breathing. That climbing is harder than before. Lan clenches and unclenches his human fist. Your fingers stop bending. You have to tie your sword to your hand. You can't even put on your greaves without help. When you're washing your face in the stream, sometimes you catch a slight sight of a greying-haired, wrinkled old man you don't recognise. And this goes on until one day you come across a cave beast and you realise you can't outrun it. Lan takes a breath. My dad kept diaries marking all the signs, and I saw it too. The last year, I had to help him get out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he forgot my name. I told him that we should have stayed on the surface, and he joked that dodging a goddess was behaviour unworthy of a crusader. He meant Pharasma. Every morning I wake up and check how I feel, but there are no signs yet. Even so, I know I don't have much time. I need to do something useful before I forget why I came here. I want to talk about Wenderwag. Are you sure? Lan sighs. Alright. Tell me about your connection to Wenderwag. My connection to Wenderwag? I mean, where do I start? Lan turns the unexpressive reptile half of his face to you. We grew up together, trained together. She was the chief's daughter. She was groomed to be the best all her life, and then I came along. We were rivals, but we dragged each other out of tight spots too. I've always been drawn to grand heroic gestures, sometimes idiotic ones, whereas Wendu liked to roam unexplored passages, finding new caves and making maps. She wanted to be a great huntress, the one who'd make it through the shield maze, but instead she... Lan shakes his head. It'd be better if she'd died. The death of a friend is painful, but watching a friend become a shadow of their former self is unbearable. She doesn't think she's a shadow of her former self. Of course, she thinks she did everything right, because the second she starts to doubt herself, she'll have to face the truth, to admit she's just a cannibal that demons use as they wish. Lan's frown looks almost like a wince. She wants to get stronger and stronger, but for what? I'll never understand what drives her. Were you just friends, or were you more than that? Wow, you really don't pull your punches, do you? Lan exhales loudly. There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Wenderwag knew me better than anybody. She understood me better than anyone. She was my first woman. But we never loved each other. Maybe I could have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love was. Maybe she just wasn't capable of those kind of feelings. Oh, do I, Too bad you and Wenderwag didn't work out, but there are plenty of other women around who might like you. Me, for example. Do I want to go down that path with Lan? I guess there's nothing else to say about that. Yeah, why not for now? I think you can always back out later. I think Ness is a bit of a flirt. Too bad you and Wenderwag didn't work out, but there are plenty of other women around who might like you. Me, for example. Huh? Lan laughs and, by coincidence, turns the unexpressive, scaly side of his face towards you. Don't joke like that, I almost believed you. A humble guy like me, a beautiful woman could have me wrapped around her little finger without even trying. Aw, you flirt. I am beautiful. Thanks, I found out everything I wanted to know. If you ever want to reopen any more of my old wounds, you know where to find me. Oh, one more thing. Can you wear a hat with your one horn? Sure I can, but certain designs don't suit me well. Lan speaks in a deadly serious voice. I found out everything I wanted to know, thank you. Sure thing. I'll ask the rest of these later, I think. Thank you for your answers so long. I'm going to take a break and do the rest of the talking and leveling up when I come back. If you want to leave a comment or anything, or, you know, keep an eye out for the rest of this playthrough. It will be coming out every day. Thanks. See ya.